We don't have Carolyn today, I guess. Are you guys ready?
Oh, go for it.
I know.
It'll wait.
That's okay. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to call this meeting into order, so please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Superintendent Freeman.
Yeah, well, thank you, Chair Atabey. Thank you to everyone for coming tonight. It's always the highlight of our meeting when we see all the people that are making time out of their evening to come enjoy us celebrating our model students. So hope you enjoy seeing students get recognized just as much as we do, and the reports. I do have some additions to the agenda. Number 4 under action items, we're adding the executive order 26-06, which will be a discussion item. Thank you.
Okay, so then I think we will have Olivia Odell give us the elementary school report.
Olivia Odell. Last week, our fourth grade students visited Miss Berry at the old Melrose Schoolhouse as a part of their ongoing Oregon Trail study. At the old schoolhouse, Miss Berry took our students back in time to a one-room schoolhouse set in the 1800s. She walked our students through what a typical day and lessons would look like, from fetching their own water, fingernail checks, and daily writing lessons with a quill pen. They left the experience with a newfound appreciation for the modern-day classroom. Last fall of 2025, Glide's fifth graders traveled to Coos Bay area to learn about indigenous cultures who have lived there since the time immemorial. Among other lessons, they learned about first foods, including the bulb of blue camas flower. This native plant can be found in many parts of Oregon and takes an important place in first food of many tribal people in Oregon. In the first part of May, fifth graders participated in a camas bulb dig in our very own GES Nature Trail. In the language of the Cow Creek Band of Umpqua Tribe of Indians, the word for camas is deep. The fifth graders learned that they did indeed have to dig deep to find their prized bulbs. Last week, fifth graders enjoyed the fruits of their labor. After cleaning and trimming the bulbs, they made camas soup with fry bread on the side. I have a flyer for you with comments from the fifth graders that participated and the recipe for the camas soup they enjoyed. I'll give you those after the report. Our students in grades 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade are wrapping up state testing this week. Students in all grades test in areas of math and reading, while 5th grade also tests in science. This year, our kindergarten, 1st, and 2nd grade classrooms adopted one of the testing classrooms and gave them cards, posters, and treats, and encouraged them to do their best and not stress. Today, 3rd grader Rowan Rutledge was principal for the day. Her family purchased this opportunity for her at the annual 4th, 5th, and 6th grade spaghetti auction. Miss Rutledge declared the day as Dress Like Dad Day, led the morning announcements, and visited each classroom with a special treat. Led ODE on a tour of our school with student house leaders and Mrs. Beard. She ended the day with a surprise popsicle drill. Speaking of student leaders, we are in the process of selecting next year's leaders. We have 39 students that applied for the opportunity to lead their house for the 2026-2027 school year. This week, staff are scoring each application to see who will make it to the next round. Round 2 will include an interview in front of a panel of judges. 2 of the selected leaders will be back next year to introduce you to our student leaders and become Glide Elementary School's new board reporters. Wrapping up the school year, our staff has several fun activities and trips planned to celebrate an exceptional school year. These include our last house meeting is tomorrow, that was canceled. Kindergarten celebration family night. High school grads are set to walk through the elementary on June 4th and be sent off to UCC in the Bubbly Bobcat Way. Second grade to Parkview skating. Third grade to Wildlife Safari. Fourth grade to Douglas County Museum. Fifth grade to Eugene for a tour of U of O, ending the day at Defy. They will also go to River Forks Park to participate in the Umpqua Fishery Enhancement Derby. Sixth grade with a culminate their outdoor school experience with a trip to Tokedy Lake. They also will visit the middle school for a tour to check out the band and choir programs. Our annual house games at the athletic complex will be hosted on June 9th, beginning at 9 a.m. We would love volunteers. Please call the office to see how the office can help you. Thank you for your time, and I will now be giving out these flyers.
Wow, thank you so much. You guys are doing amazing and exciting things. Thank you so much. Okay, I think the board is going to join the audience, and the sixth graders are going to put on a skit for us. Now, why can't every board meeting be like that? Thank you so much for that. Just another round of applause. That was so fun. Okay, I think we're gonna have the middle school report from Audrey.
Hello, my name is Audrey Odell, and I will be giving you guys the middle school update. Yesterday, 8th graders got to participate in a frog dissection lab. They worked in pairs to identify external features and explore internal organ systems. They were able to compare frog systems to humans and discuss similarities and differences. Most students enjoyed themselves when dissect the frog again. 2 student quotes about the activity. They pee and poop out of the same hole like the cloaca like a chicken. The female had eggs spread all over instead of one spot. I didn't know that before. In my opinion, the dissection was gross. 8th graders will celebrate the end of school year with a trip to Defy in Eugene on June 9th. The 7th grade students will stay on campus for a field day and carnival planned by our leadership team. Middle school academic awards and 8th grade promotion will be on Wednesday, June 10th in the main gym starting at 1 p.m. We will celebrate all of our outstanding students and congratulate the 8th graders on finishing up middle school as they prepare for high school. Spring sports has finished up with the boys track and field team finished second at districts on May 9th. The girls track and field team brought home the Little Fur League title. It was a great day for all of our athletes, and we would like to thank Mrs. Quilty and Mrs. Terhune for supporting us along the way. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Awesome. Yeah. Okay, high school report. We got Clara and Aubrey.
All right, here's our high school update. The annual FFA banquet is Tuesday, May 26th at 5 p.m. in the main gym. We hope you can join us as we celebrate this school year and welcome next year. The Academic Awards Assembly is June 3rd at 1 p.m. in the main gym. We will honor our outstanding students in all the content areas, give out academic letters and pins, and celebrate outstanding attendance. Senior Sunset is also June 3rd at 7:30 p.m. at the athletic complex. Thank you to the project graduation group for supplying all the food. The annual graduation walk will happen on June 4th. Graduates will walk through the halls of Glide High School, Glide Middle School, and Glide Elementary School one last time to celebrate their accomplishments. After the walk, graduates will head to UCC for graduation practice and return to Glide High School around 1 p.m. for a family barbecue. Stop in and say hi if you're around.
Graduation is Sunday, June 7th at UCC's Jacoby Auditorium. This year, the ceremony will start at 2 p.m. Please let Jan know how many seats we should reserve for you. The senior graduation trip will depart the high school at 10:30 p.m. that night for Silverwood Theme Park. Mr. Shaw, Mrs. Damewood, Mrs. Anderson, Mrs. Long, and Mrs. Roberts will be taking students to the Galapagos Islands on June 14th. Students will return the 23rd. 33 Glide High School track and field athletes with 85 entries at districts this Thursday and Friday at Sutherland High School, and we are hopeful that many will qualify for the state meet next week. Glide High School baseball's final game is happening right now. We celebrated senior night for 4 of our amazing kids. We are proud of all their hard work this season. Glide High School softball finished second in the Far West League. All will compete in a state championship playoff game on Wednesday, May 27th. It is looking like a trip to SIO, but the OSA rankings are not officially closed yet, so be on the lookout for game information. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Okay, I think it's time for cats. Oh, social studies. Oh, sorry, my bad. Yes, the high school social studies presentation.
Hello, my name is Topanga Weber, and I am a senior here at Glad High School, and I would like to talk about the opportunity I recently had last Wednesday, May 13th, to go on a field trip to the Douglas County Courthouse. On this field trip, we got to tour and learn about the different parts of the courthouse. Aside from that, we also met with Judge Jason Thomas, who told us about his long journey to becoming a judge. After we got to hear from the judge, we had the opportunity to sit in on a very interesting court hearing. Along with that, on April 23rd, I had the opportunity to go to Umpqua Community College and listen to 2 Oregon Supreme Court cases. I found both cases very interesting, and after the cases were over, we broke for lunch and I had the opportunity to eat with Cow Creek's tribal judge. Along with that, on January 7th and 8th, I had the opportunity to go to the Douglas County Jail and tour the jail. Although the jail is not somewhere I thought I would want to go on a field trip, I found it very interesting how the jail operates and all the different jobs throughout the jail. After touring the jail, I have decided it is not somewhere I want to go back to. All these field trips would not have been possible without Miss Anderson, so I would like to give a big thank you to her for going above and beyond for us seniors and the whole high school to make these field trips possible. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And as someone who worked at the Douglas County Jail for 2 years, I promise you, you're right. You do not want to go there. Okay, now time for cats.
Twelfth grader Savannah Jones. That means dinner. Savannah Jones is an amazing student, a dedicated athlete, and a respected student leader. As one of the presidents of the drama club, Savannah demonstrates to the rest of her cast her commitment to every production, learning her lines quickly, bringing a crew, thanks Keith and Rainey, to help build sets, as well as always being on time. Savannah is considerate and capable. We love working with her and wish her all the best at OSU.
Alexander Nadeau. Alexander has consistently proved to be one of the hardest working and most helpful students. If there is a job to be done, they complete it with enthusiasm, a smile, and with the utmost efficiency. It is a privilege not only to have Alexander as a student, but to also know them as an individual.
Tenth grader Ella Weber. Ella Weber consistently demonstrates compassion for those around her. She makes an effort to be positive throughout the day and lifts those up around her as well. Her pride for being a Wildcat is appreciated.
Ninth grader Addie Johnson. Addie is a highly capable and conscientious student who takes genuine pride in her work and approaches each task with care and dedication. She regularly asks thoughtful, insightful questions, showing both curiosity and a sincere desire to deepen her understanding. Her work is consistently high quality, reflecting strong effort and attention to detail.
Audrey Southey. Audrey Southey is an enthusiastic and dedicated student who brings great energy to the classroom. She has a strong interest in life science and is always eager to learn more, ask questions, and put 100% into all of her projects. Her positive attitude and curiosity makes her a pleasure to have in class. Betty Strain. Betty is so many things: kind, considerate, hardworking, creative. She has an abundance of traits that makes her a wonderful student, athlete, and person she is. She lifts others up, leading by example, and puts 100% into everything she does. She's capable of anything she puts her mind to, and she's such a pleasure to have at our school. Dexter Stevens. Dexter Stevens is a sixth grader who is a hard worker. He does well in his academics because he has an I can do it attitude. Dexter is kind-hearted and wants to help his classmates whenever possible. Dexter has an enthusiasm for learning that can't be beat. Everly Bean. Everly Bean is very deserving of recognition for Kat's Award. She is respectful and responsible at all times, as well as kind and caring with her words and actions. She strives for her best in class, focusing on instruction, asking questions, completed homework, and making corrections when necessary. Everly looks for opportunities to be helpful to others and volunteers in a first grade classroom twice each week during her recess. She is a wonderful member of our school community. Lizeth Melendez Zamora. Lizeth is strong in academic growth, is especially remarkable because she is achieving it while learning English. Despite navigating a new language, she shows up to class ready to work every day with an incredible work ethic and determination that never wavers. What makes her truly exceptional is her kind-hearted nature and genuine desire to help her classmates succeed. And her positive attitude through it all shows real resilience and character. You should be incredibly proud of yourself. Lindsay Sprague. Lindsay is such a sweet and caring child. She always aims to make sure that she is doing her best work at all times. She stays focused on anything given to her. She is a great friend to others and is always ready to help when it is needed. If you ever get a chance to know her, you'll get to enjoy her humor as well. She is one that strives to be the best at whatever it is that she is doing, and shows through the effort that she puts in and out of school and academics or extracurricular activities. These are many reasons as why she has been chosen to receive that CATS award for the month of May. Remy Basney. Remy is a true example of what CATS Award represents. She comes to school each day with a smile and positive attitude that shines throughout the classroom. Remy's hard work ethic, both in and out of the classroom, has helped her made tremendous growth as an all-around learner this year. Not only is she responsible and hardworking, but she is also a quiet leader in many ways. Remy is a kind of a friend everyone needs, someone you can always count on to care for others and lend a helping hand. Sawyer Haxby. Sawyer constantly exemplifies what it means to be a responsible and respectful student. He is present on time and prepared for class each day, setting a strong example for his peers. Academically, Sawyer shows growth through dedication and perseverance. Sawyer approaches challenges with determination and always strives to do his best, bringing a positive attitude and kind-hearted spirit to the classroom. Sawyer is a well-deserving candidate for the CAT Award, embodying the values of respect, responsibility, and compassion in all that he does. Cameron Juarez. Not only is Cameron a great student academically, but he also exhibits kindness and compassion to those around him on a daily basis. He is a respectful and kind young man who works hard and who is a constant example of what it means to be a good friend and a persistent learner.
Did you guys make it to the play? Awesome. Yeah, I was bummed I had to
So
miss
far,
it.
every time they have a play, I get sick.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Oh, good. Awesome. Very cool. And you didn't miss much at the LPC meeting last night. Well, we didn't have I almost say thank God. No, I do say thank God. We didn't have a quorum because that meeting was scheduled for hours, but we didn't have a quorum, so it was only 2. Don't, because I was there and I also, and Jackie was there, so don't, you're fine. Yes. I know. I forget when they are, and I also forget when the OSBA ones are, and the OSBA ones are. Yes, you should. Yeah. I would say the only thing that you missed is they did cover a little more in depth about this mandate. But I think Robert's gonna go over it anyway, so. Yeah, and we have to be there 1:30, 1:45. 1:55. Okay. That's funny. And I've had lots of people do that to me. Tell me to, that's. I don't know. You guys are going camping this weekend for Memorial Day. I keep forgetting that it is Memorial. I'm just gonna do nothing. I'm very excited about that. I was in the hospital for a week in Salisbury, England, and had emergency surgery. Yeah, to get my gallbladder out. Yeah, because I like to make it really exciting. It's one of those unique stories, you know. Yeah, it was crazy. No, we got 5 days in. We went to the Scottish Highlands and we flew into Amsterdam. We had a day there. Then we flew to Copenhagen and we went over to Sweden really quick and got some salted licorice candy, important stuff. Then flew to Edinburgh and then did the Highlands and then went down to London, did a little tiny bit. And then it was a day trip to Stonehenge where it all went awry. That's where the ambulance came and got me from Stonehenge. Yeah. And all my stuff was still up in London. And we were in the hospital for a week. It was nutty. And then the rest of the trip was just trying to get out of there, get my luggage, and then meet up with our original flight home out of Copenhagen. Yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. I'm alive. It's kind of the important thing. So, yeah. And it was in an English speaking country. Pretty glad about that because we were leaving the next morning and renting a car and would have been in France. So, pretty grateful for the English. So, and they were super great to my daughter. Kept her in the same room with me, fed her, understood that we could not be separated. Unfortunately, she has a phobia of vomiting, so that didn't go very well with everybody around us because we didn't have like an actual room, just curtains dividing us. And someone next to us all night long. And of course, I got sick. And anyhow, just good times all. But if you have any questions about the NHS system, right? Yeah, so I have a hospital bill for England. It's not free for visitors, but way cheaper than it would have been here. Yeah, so anyhow. Yeah. It was bank holiday weekend. So they were short-staffed. When I first came in, they wanted to, because my labs weren't spiked yet. They were like, you don't even meet criteria to even like do a scan. And it's because they couldn't get my pain under control that they kept me. Then did a scan the next day, like, oh, some problem. And then my labs went through the roof. But the surgeons weren't back till that Monday. So I went in on a Thursday. So, anywho. Yeah. That or have traveler's insurance. I did not get any because I just thought, well, there's nothing wrong with me. Anywho, good times. Okay. Are we ready to get back to it? I think we are. So let's reconvene and carry on with this so y'all can get back to this beautiful day outside. Okay, so I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented, which involves minutes from the last meeting, budget meeting minutes, financial report for April, request to apply for fundraisers, Healthy and Safe Schools Annual Statement 2026, and surplus equipment, and some personal actions items of hiring and folks who have decided to retire.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Any discussion? Questions? Okay. So all those in favor of approving the consent agenda as presented? Aye. Motion passes. I'm seeing that we don't have any yellow cards for public participation. So we will move on to resolution number 32526, transfer of appropriations. So
That's me.
Yeah.
All right, this is an action item that requires a motion and a vote. Just FYI, I did try to talk Carolyn into leaving Kauai to come back for this meeting to do this, but she said no. So I am the messenger.
weird.
Don't shoot the messenger. Right?
Jeez.
I did not ask her to do that, by the way, and I would not ask her to do that. All right, this is a process that's required by law in order to transfer funds. You guys have done this several times in the past. We're asking that you transfer funds from the Special Revenue Fund instruction in the amount of $50,000 to the Special Revenue Fund Community Services amount $50,000. Thank you for your consideration.
Okay, so I would entertain a motion to approve the resolution number 32526, transfer appropriations as presented.
I move to approve resolution number 32526, transfer of appropriations as presented.
Okay, discussion? Anybody? Questions?
No.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, long-range facility planning.
All right. Something I can speak a little more intelligently about. Just as a recap on our progress we're making towards our facility planning and potential bond election. As you are aware, every Wednesday we have a standing meeting with our bond consultant and our lead architect. And I will have to say that last meeting, which was attended by Tracy, Director Adave, and Director Holland, was one of the best meetings we've had. I wish we would have recorded that meeting and played that to the public and had our ballot ready to go for today. Because I think the progress we made and the way things were explained would really be hard for a patron to not get excited about the opportunities that Glide has ahead of them and the enhancement that we can do to our school system, which directly impacts the student experience. We're going to be able to lay that all out at our community meeting. That is next Thursday, remember, 6:30 at the elementary school. I think you'll be really impressed with the progress that we're making and how the projects are coming together. But please know that until August, no decisions have been formally made, and we're still seeking input from the community. And this is an opportunity for people throughout Glide to come and hear more about the projects and the direction the district is going, and then give input or ask questions or give feedback. I'm really excited to do that. I hope we have a great turnout. Just for your information, Jan was amazing and took the lead on ensuring that we had a flyer that went out to the community. She researched on how do we get that information to every patron in Glide, and she was able to do that. We had the ESD print the flyers, and then we did our own mailing And those, you should have received those soon, right? Oh, okay.
I haven't checked the mail today, so.
Yeah, so it should be soon. And then we're going to send out a reminder on Tuesday, via Parent Square and Facebook and our website, and through our staff email. So hopefully we get a great turnout.
Okay.
If not, not if not, regardless, our plan is to summarize that evening meeting, and then send that summary as well as an invitation for further input from the community. My goal is that when we get to November, if we decide to go in November, that every person in Glide felt like they had an opportunity to give input, understands the project, and understand the impact of what their vote means to not only them, but to the Glide School District.
Perfect.
Yeah, Tracy or Janet, anything to add? You guys were there?
I'm very excited with what I'm hearing and amazed at what we can accomplish with the funds that we would have. It's impressive.
Yeah, I really appreciated participating, and so thank you, Tian, because I tried lots of that. And I was just wondering, Robert, if we had the dates like for follow-up, or there was like a calendar that we could give out during that meeting, just for folks to take away, like, oh, this isn't your only shot, but there'll be one, and whatever. Just, it might be nice, not like, oh, at some point you'll be involved, but we'll have a meeting at least once, maybe not the exact date, but.
We should probably add that to our next Wednesday and see what their thoughts were on that. Because I feel like things are happening really fast, and I feel like they're going to kick into hyper gear, especially come August. If you decide to approve that resolution, that's really when the hyper work is going to happen. But we promise the public transparency and the ability to have input, and so if another community meeting needs to be held between now and August, then we should get that on the calendar sooner than later.
And that could be an ask at that meeting, as well.
Kind of what I'm thinking. Not too. We'll run it by the professionals and see what they think.
Exactly. I am gonna just say, I am still like, I know that they have their vision, and it was great, as Tracy said, to see like what was possible. And I'm still like, with the multipurpose room at the elementary, I'm still like, dang, could we get the rest of the money to actually turn it into a gym? I mean, that would be like, in terms of thinking about 20 years from now, like what the need would be, it would be nice to have that, like, at least as a consideration, even though it's like, what, $5 million more? Just a small little drop in, but
I love the forward thinking, because really that's the window we're in right now. It's not going to have a direct impact right now, but it's going to certainly have an impact to the future.
yeah, and I think again, that framework, and I really appreciated, I forgot his name, the architect. John was really like framing it, for those of you that weren't there, as like, you want to be thinking about and building not for today, but what you want in the future. And I thought that was really important. And, Tammy gave a lot of feedback about, the immediate needs, in terms of what that would look like. But I was just like percolating about, well, what would that actually be?
Yeah.
If we framed it as like, 10 years from now, what would you want? For the elementary school and for the community. And to me, that was, I think, a really good thing to be thinking about.
And we spent time today talking about that exact thing. Like, I just lost my thought. Kyle was talking about that this decision really is going to have long-term impact. Yeah, that point there. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, longevity and the sustainability of our district
that
for
was it.
meeting the
That
needs of kids.
These windows of opportunities don't come along very
Exactly.
often. And so
Right.
that's what he's going to drive home. Like,
Yep.
And he's going to talk about school districts that don't use the bond to do capital improvement, and those that wait until it's an emergency to try to put a bond in front of people, and where we're at right now and what the difference of that spectrum is. And I think that's really going to drive home that point. Like, if you're going to be good stewards of taxpayer dollars and your facilities, the only way to build facilities is through a capital improvement bond.
Yeah.
And instead of waiting till the sky is falling, the best thing to do is to plan during your pretty periodical opportunities to where your trajectory is moving forward into the future. And I really like that point he made today.
Yeah, me too.
What would be that? Do we know what that ask would be for how many cents how much additional we'd be asking for the 5?
Oh, I don't know. He just gave us a total amount and that was, it was 5, right?
I don't remember what it broke down to, like how much
Yeah,
1 million was.
I know the original plan that I put in front of you that had the gymnasium and the extra classrooms and the 2 stories, that was just right at $15 million. I think what he's looking at now with the secured entryway, vestibule, classrooms, and cafeteria / multi-purpose room, I think is right at $5 million. So pretty good gap.
Yeah. And I really like that it ties in security throughout
Oh,
each
yes.
campus.
So that was huge. So at the end of the meeting, the projects we're throwing on the table, not the gymnasium, but a multi-purpose room at the elementary school. It really is well within our budget, which would actually afford us some other safety and security opportunities that I think people can really get behind. So the safety and security at the elementary school really is part of the project, building that, putting that building in front of the school and building a single entry secure vestibule where you enter the building in that secure area, and then you're buzzed in and you go through a hallway and then you enter campus. So that takes care of that. But he talked about what? Yeah, but
Yeah,
one
for-
person, it's one unit operates all the locks in the district. So we would have a record of, who's on campus, what locks are being opened, and one person controls that. So anyway, he talked about some other safety and security things
Mhm.
that.
And securing the campus up here.
So the campus up here, he talked about adding fencing, but that also is part of the making it a pedestrian campus. And the high school and middle school with the middle school wing really lends itself to some natural fencing to make it not feel like it's fenced in.
Right.
So we're going to present all of that on Thursday night.
It's pretty amazing.
And Don, the parking lot does move. The parking lot, well, we were joking about that. His initial, it was to put the parking lot in front there. And then because of the slope, he just said that might be cost prohibitive and instead go this way. So that, although we did joke about 4-wheel drives and things like that, but
So if we live in Glide, our kids drive 4-wheel drive trucks. They can make a mud hill out of that.
but for a parking lot, it on the other side, it would create a lot of fill and things like that. So that was the concern.
It's pretty exciting.
Yeah. So just an update showing that we're making progress. Thursday night will really be informative.
And I guess thinking about this, I guess I had curiosity about strategy, and that is, because we had said the intention was to have it cost neutral so that it wasn't an increase. But I'm wondering, is it recommended to just say, and if you add it in to Dan's point, 50 cents more,
That's what I was
that
thinking.
would
I don't-
allow a gym to be built at the elementary school.
I don't want to say like a la carte, but like that
Yeah.
kind of idea of, well,
Yeah.
for 27 cents more,
Yes,
we can get a whole gym instead of.
a
the
multi-purpose.
Yeah.
cafeteria.
We've had in-depth conversations about that. And the advice that we're given by people that do this for a living is that that's a very risky gamble. Cascade looks like they're passing their bond today, which means that's 8 for 8 on renewal bonds. And the gamble we would be taking is that not very many people are passing adding additional stuff. So Kyle, who I'm getting this information from, his recommendation is that we work really hard to keep it at the 91 cents and then be really, and he has this whole slide about being transparent
Yeah.
and keeping the public aware of the progress we're making and showing everybody in our community that they were part of the process. If they pass the bond, we're going to do exactly what they said or what we said we're going to do, and we'll keep them up to date through it. And then in 6 years, when we're eligible for another awesome grant, maybe that's a time that we look at if there's a need like a gymnasium or something. We're in a positive light in the community, and we can show the community that, we're going to be good stewards with their money. But he recommends that we don't take that gamble right now because ultimately it's a $22 million gamble if we don't pass our ball.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I hope so. Yeah, I think that would be wonderful for our organization if that were to happen.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah, executive order from the governor.
Yeah, so Director Holland had asked about this last meeting. We had conversations, extensive conversations, but really wasn't at a point to talk about it publicly. So I don't know if you were frustrated if I was a little quiet when that topic came up last month, but I am able to now present this and present this as a discussion item. But I want to give you some background and some information so you understand some of the vocabulary and what we're dealing with, and then what ultimately our leadership team came up with as a recommendation, and that's what I'm going to be recommending to you tonight. So, all right, I need to be really clear on some definitions. So, instructional time, every year you sign off on Division 22 standards, and Division 22 standards outlines instructional time that schools must maintain. I think you've heard me talk about that when we've had some inclement weather and talking about whether to make those days up or not. So we're well within our instructional time, and how you calculate that is very specific. And that time is where students are engaged in regular scheduled instruction, learning activities, assessments. They do not include passing time, recess, breakfast and lunch are like examples of that. What the governor is talking about is student instructional time. And student instructional time is defined by this executive order as the total number of hours students are at school from bell to bell. And it does include things like lunch and recess and breakfast and passing time. So you need to understand those differences. So some history. It references that we need to calculate what the student instructional time was in the school year 24-25. And during that year, our leadership team identified some areas that we really wanted to fix, some areas of concern, some deficiencies that we wanted to make better with this year's schedule. And some of those areas were that particular schedule was not conducive for breakfasts. Middle school students were not using their time to eat. Elementary school students felt like they were rushed, so PE would begin on time. PE is the only subject with mandated weekly minutes for every student. I think you guys knew that ahead of time. And then the high school breakfast time was not able to be counted as instructional time. And just kids really weren't taking advantage of breakfast. At that time, the high school and middle school had what was called a success period. And I do believe when success was initially installed, there was some great rationale for that. But like a lot of things, that over time lost its focus on what the intent was. And the time really wasn't viewed as valuable instructional time. And many of the staff asked if now Principal Carey would look at that and see if they couldn't get that back into their classroom instructional time instead of giving that time up. Passing time between classes at that time were 5 minutes. And there was a difference between the high school, middle school schedule and the elementary schedule release time, to where we had students that would come on the bus here, elementary students, and they would have to sit between 15 and 20 minutes on the bus before the high school, middle school was released. So we wanted to improve those inefficiencies. So this year we went to a breakfast in the classroom model, where students now get their breakfast and head to class. Middle school breakfast is approximately 1 hour later in the school day. And the proof's in the pudding, as my dad would always say. As of May 8th, we did the count, and we've served 1,253 more breakfasts than last year. That's huge. Everybody knows the research around kids eating and how that impacts their instruction and learning. We removed the success period and added minutes to each class period, so the actual classes are longer. And the afternoon buses arrive regularly at 3:24 now, and they leave at 3:30. So we reduce that time that kids are sitting by more than half. Okay, so what impact did that have on our hours? So the impact is it's 3 minutes less, 3 less minutes per day at the middle school and high school, and 4 minutes less at the elementary. Okay, according to the executive order, that puts us into the category of our student instructional time is less now than it was in 24-25. So we have 2 options that we can take. We can adjust those or have a plan to restore those lost minutes in our schedule, or we can submit the reasons the district is not restoring those lost minutes. So basically, we have the opportunity to make an argument of what we did was beneficial. And that's where my leadership team landed. And we would like to keep the current schedule for all those reasons that we just talked about. More kids are eating, our classes are actually longer, it impacts our elementary students to where they're not sitting on the bus. I'm sure you guys have more things to add to that. You're welcome to add more, but that's where we would like to land. We know that that's probably going to, it's not probably, it's going to bring a spotlight onto Glide, but I am more than willing to make the argument and talk about the whole student and the whole student experience and why this schedule is more beneficial to our students than the 24-25 schedule.
And I will just add that in the Legislative Policy Committee meeting last night with OSBA, they talked about if districts choose this option to say why they're not going to. If there is good reason given, it's not going to be a huge issue. It would be a huge issue if we'd have said, no, we don't want to.
Because we don't want to.
Right. So I absolutely think it's worth doing what we're doing, because I think in the long run, kids getting breakfast and less time on a bus, you're just better. You're going to absorb more and learn more anyways. So then adding just extra time for no reason. So that's my 2 cents.
There's also more behind the story that the governor actually left off on our executive order, but her intent, one, was to ensure that districts didn't use furlough days to salvage their budget, because that comes at a direct expense to kids. And more importantly to us is she is going to not allow districts to use professional development days or conference days as part of the calculation. That will impact us. And when that happens, I think we should address that at the time on what our plan is. So that is definitely coming up in the future.
Can I just, for clarity's sake, so we submit the basically request for an exemption, and then what if it doesn't get approved?
It will.
Well, I will
That's
tell
like-
you that superintendents across the state are asking that same question, and the snarky answer is Hoodie and the state does not have the capacity to go around and police every single school district.
Perfect.
They don't have any, there's no teeth to
There's-
that.
Correct.
And I do think if we wanted to be butts and say, how dare you? Nope, we're not, we're just not going to do it without giving a reason. I do think maybe they'll make us feel a little bit of pain for that.
Yeah.
But I agree with Tracy. I think if we give a solid rationale as to the why, I don't think we're going to see much from it.
I don't
I
think
think
so
the
either.
intent of this is my opinion, is to combat the school districts who are cutting weeks off their schedule to save.
For
Budget.
budget reasons.
Yeah.
Yep, correct.
It's not that we're 3 minutes less a day than we were at 24, 25. That's not going to be.
I
don't think
believe
that's
you're
gonna be on the
correct.
radar.
Yep, spot
This
on.
is Portland Public School rule.
Which is why they're not gonna look twice at
No,
for our legit reasons.
yeah. I think they took 2 weeks off their school year this year.
I'm going to throw it out there. I do think, and I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. I do believe that she's also wanting to get rid of 4-day week schools. So that could be something that's in the future also. We'll cross that bridge when that happens.
Yeah. Yep.
And I believe that's my report. You guys got anything you want to add to that, or? Whoa. Weird, huh? Weird.
So when we've gone against executive orders in the past, the board has voted to do that so that it shows communication between the school board and the superintendent.
And it's on the record.
It's on the record of saying, we're going to send a letter saying, thank you for your interest, but we're going to do this because of this reason.
Yep.
I would recommend that we do that, so it shows communication between everybody, that the communities with that.
Awesome.
Okay. So I would entertain a motion to request the exemption for the executive order 2606 to adhere to what we're currently doing, which benefits our students much better in the long run.
I'll make that motion as stated.
I'll second it.
Okay, any further discussion about that or questions?
I'm kind of like, maybe we should first have something, basically, like what was reviewed here about the reasoning before we just blanket, middle finger to them.
Well, it's not really that.
I
And
mean,
then this is a
no-
questionnaire that gets sent out and you kind of tick the boxes and then give your reasoning. Is that,
You want my notes?
Yes, possibly, yes. I would say we have something more than just, yes, take your deal and.
oh yeah,
Well,
well,
no,
and we, I
no,
mean,
I
we
wouldn't-
could write a whole thing on,
For our part, we're just saying we support the superintendent
Yep.
writing his letter,
yes,
defending why we want to do it.
Well, then
Yes.
that's the way the motion should be made.
Okay, that's fair. Let me
I would
reword the
say.
motion. I would
And-
move.
And to clarify, my report will have a lengthy
what you-
reasons for
What you
doing.
said, I'm more into that than just, not just saying, oh.
All I'm hearing is
Take
you're
your-
supporting me to
okay, well,
ask
yes,
for
write that letter,
an exception.
All right.
but
so-
my letter will include.
So I think we're good in the way it's already been stated is that we're agreeing to apply for the exception,
yeah,
given the reasoning that was
okay,
presented.
That's more than just not, oh, we don't like your executive order.
Yeah. No, I mean, he will be required, in the thing that they,
It's not required.
oh, it isn't, but we will.
Jen, do you have something written down there?
it. We we had two options.
Yep.
And we're choosing option number two.
Right.
We've got a reason why we.
So, right, stating the reasoning of why that would not benefit
Well, why don't
our
we,
district.
why don't we vote on
Rework a,
that, strike that down, and then I'll work some verbiage.
okay. So we'll strike down that motion and create a
Well,
new,
I guess we
or
gotta
not
vote,
motion,
we
but,
do have to vote on it since it was seconded.
all right, well, let's get some awesome wording to this.
And I think it's just something that, let's for Clyde, we just discussed this, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, I move that we, throw our support behind a letter that the superintendent is gonna write to ODE stating the reasons why we're gonna stay option two and stay in our current configuration, so.
Okay, well, he's,
That's more in line with what we're doing. We're not part of the letter, we're just,
yeah. So I would entertain a motion to approve the statement that you just made.
okay, so we,
Yes. Yes. And I will just also make a statement that we don't work for Robert's Rules. Robert's Rules works for us. So-
Fair.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Oh, second,
Oh, did he? Okay,
a second, the new one.
awesome. Okay, all those in favor of approving the motion that was presented? Aye. Okay, motion passes. Thank you all for your patience with us trying to make sure we're accurately capturing what we're doing.
On the fly.
Thank you. Okay.
Yep.
Do you have an extra
So,
report for us?
yep, super quick. We're winding things down this year. This is year number 3 for us. I at least 4 different occasions this past month, I've gone to dentist or a doctor and have shared new dentist and doctor and shared that I work in the Glide School District, and unanimously they perk up. Oh, well, I've heard nothing but great things about that district. And I said, well, thank you for sharing. I said, we're really proud of where we're at and the direction we're moving. And so out in the public, we're getting a ton of positive feedback. So I hope you all are hearing things like that when you're out and about and you show your pride that you're from the Glide School District. Obviously, we're not making everybody happy, but I really am proud of the change of the culture and the way the school district is moving forward. And I was sincere when I said earlier, I think if we would have had that recording of the meeting the other day and that our bond was on this ballot, I think we would have passed that. I think there's a lot of positive energy going in our district right now. We have kids that are doing well, performing throughout the state. I know some of you probably got to watch our play last month. Just some great things happening in the district. The last thing is, I don't know if you picked up on it, but I do want to bring your attention back to the last day of school, our annual field day at the high school football field on June 9th. And yes, you can wear your t-shirt. That is a house event, and 9 a.m. Did I hear that right? We'll start. It's not, you don't have to come at 9 o'clock, but if you could make an appearance, I know the kids and the staff really enjoy seeing board members at that event. So tough during the day. I get that, but that is a pretty special event.
June 9th.
June 9th. Yep. Tammy didn't put in a report, but they've been doing virtual meetings with the Ron Clark Academy, and Ron Clark called out our school. What was the quote?
Nice.
There you go. And that's my report.
That's wonderful. Love that.
The board is also invited to stay until 12:30 that last day of, or 12:30 the last day of school
On the 11th?
on the 11th.
Okay.
For our end of the year celebration. Yeah, I thought I did it. Oh.
Robert, who was that was visiting the elementary today?
Yeah, actually, I'll let Tammy talk about that, but we were asked. So ODE sent a team down to actually work with our ESD, and they asked if they could go see a school in our area. And so Annalicia threw out an invitation. Well, it was Amy, I guess. Amy Rose sent out an invitation asking if they could showcase Glide Elementary. And of course, Tammy and I both were super excited. And Tammy, you want to just share how that experience went today?
Impressed?
They were super impressed. They would, I think they would have stayed all afternoon. Don't you agree? They would have just stayed with the kids all afternoon. Yeah.
Very cool. Love it.
I just happened to be there, just if I could interject.
Yeah.
I happened to be there because I had to pick up my grandson.
Yeah.
He had a bad bug bite on his forehead and he was fine, but he looked like he was growing a third eye. And so he wanted out. So I picked him up and I really wasn't dressed, hadn't even shaved or anything yet. And I was just working from home, taking an online class. And it's like, wow, okay. I ran into all these people. Thank you, Tammy. And this is one of our board members.
Oh,
So I learned my lesson that if I'm going to leave the house to make sure that I'm pressed up, I guess. And, but they were breaking up when, I was leaving and I just thanked them for coming down and visiting. And they went on, I mean, I bent my ear about
Wow.
how great they thought the tour was and everything and the people. So thank you for that.
it's
And,
great.
you know, we get people coming, they're from Salem, right? Or north of here anyway.
Yeah,
OD.
this is the department.
Oregon State
So,
Education.
yeah, I mean, I think that's a big deal. So thank you very much.
Yes, I think we want that stuck in their head that we're awesome. So it only benefit us,
All
I think.
principal
In the,
here.
yeah. Awesome.
Guess we could have
Thank you.
told them that we were cutting into instructional time. Sorry, too soon?
So we're just not gonna have a financial report, right? Or
You know, she's a slacker this week. It's her anniversary. Did I share that with you?
Aw.
The reason she's over there.
that's cool.
And she and her husband made the same trip in the past and they loved it so much that they're staying at the same exact resort.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Which island?
Hawaii.
Oh, quite.
Oh, that's what I want to go to. Very cool.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping maybe next month, maybe she can speak about the forecast a little more that came out today and how that is going to impact us or not, or anyhow. Okay. So yeah, individual board reports.
I have a long list.
Right.
So I've been keeping notes because otherwise I'll forget. So I do want to follow up, Robert, and really call out Tammy because I have, I am on the ESD budget committee and sat next to Annalicia during that budget committee, and she called out how amazing it is to have her daughter at Glide Elementary. She got a CATS award, and she just really wanted to recognize Tammy for the amazing work at the elementary school. So So I would pass that along.
Very cool.
Jonathan.
Thank you.
I also I have a couple of congratulations. And that is, well, one for the group that presented. I'm gonna have that song in my head all night long. And was it Popsicle? Is that what they were saying? Popsicle? Popsicle. Okay. I'm getting it all.
Oh my gosh. I
Oh
was gonna
my
talk about
gosh.
it after the meeting. They were so much more animated to the ODE people than they were tonight.
They had their performance. Yeah, that was great. Huge congrats for the track. That's just amazing. So definitely wanted to appreciate that. And the play, we got to, well, we were there. It was amazing. And I will just say again, I have Tracy, my sister's husband's nephew was in the play and totally out of character for him. And he did so good. And it was so fun to watch that. So just appreciation for that group. It's just like every time you go and you're like, wow, this is amazing. And my grandson, who's 3, made it the first 2 acts without like having to leave, which also speaks to like, because he thought it was really funny when they were yelling and there was all kinds of movement. And he was just like, and he actually said, because he had the opportunity, he wanted to go fishing. He goes, I like this more than fishing. So you can
Wow.
that with the team that he did like it more than a 3-year-old review was that he liked it more than fishing. I also want to thank Mrs. Anderson because I reached out to Robert because I was anyway, I was just skimming through a bunch of stuff looking for something, which I often do. And I saw that there was this article around students in the county that got to see the Oregon State Supreme Court. And I was like, Robert, did we have any students attend that? That would be amazing. Partly because I had some of those opportunities when I was in college and it was just incredible to see things in action. And then obviously Grace and I in our professional lives have gotten to see a lot of that. And so it was amazing to hear that that actually happened. So huge shout out for that. And thank you to Robert for
Very cool.
bringing the student to give us a report, because I think again, that connection of like other things and her going to the jail and going, didn't think I could actually work in the jail. I don't want to do it, but at least she knows that. And like, probably not a career path for me. So that was great. And then a huge gratitude for, I just think May is nuts. And I really want to express just the gratitude because all of the work that the teachers and parents and coaches and volunteers, all of that end of the year activities and folks that participate and show up. And then on top of it, you have all of the other stuff that you have to do to wrap up the year. So gratitude for everybody for that. And I do think it's been it really positive. And I've heard a lot of really great things about that as well. So to your point, I get to hear all that. And then I noticed that Anne is retiring, and a huge shout out to Anne O'Connor. My kiddo had her as a teacher, and it's just really gratitude for her time at in Glide and all of the like lives that she's touched throughout her entire career, both in school and out of school. Lots of time with her in wrestling. So we know that. And in September, I will not be here. I just want to make sure that that was noted because I will be in, I don't know what country, but I'll be in some country.
Well, hopefully yours goes better than
But
mine.
not this one.
Not this one. So, somewhere in Europe, not sure where.
International.
Yes.
I think we've established the precedent. It's okay to be gone if you're like on a big vacation.
This is our big vacation for our anniversary and my birthday. So yeah.
Nice.
I said my piece.
Alrighty.
So the fishing was,
No, don't have either. much. But we said, you know, said wrong, so I'll just. Yes, another one. Yes, we will have no, I'm assuming no kids next month meeting, or are we gonna have a,
No,
no, yeah, I think it's not. Well, yeah, yes, well, we did not. As I go through the year, it seems like we missed a few months on the kids.
I think just two. Right, because we don't do it in September. We don't,
Yes, and then we missed another month.
there was another one where we combined
Because we didn't have a school board. Meeting.
December when we went and helped with the, yeah, with the food distribution, like Christmas stuff.
We should maybe write it. We've talked
Yes.
about a card, like, Odell, Brock, some of these young folks have been giving reports all year long.
Yeah.
Doing a great job. We talked about getting good players.
Yes, I would love to do.
Oh, that'd be great. Oh, that one sounds pretty good.
It's like, I mean, they'd be all different. I don't know what we get them. in
Yeah,
different
what-
things. 138.
Yes, I think it's all right. Yeah.
Or Coho or, yeah, something. Yeah.
The other thing we didn't, like in the past, we had drew names.
Yeah.
For the one.
Yep.
Are we doing that again? Not. Then they had an iPad. I don't know if any of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made sure they got something, every kid got something.
Okay, I just didn't, that's kind of. Yeah, in the past, we had, and I just didn't know.
It's hard because it's a spectrum. It's high school kids that are gonna want something different than maybe elementary, so.
Every kid enjoys a drink.
I was gonna say, that was what I was thinking too.
Just keep it at the drink level, I think could be. You're trying to feed them dinner or something,
$10 at the end.
I think $10.
Yeah,
Very
that
good.
sounds great.
That gets you whatever kind of drink you want.
And could we invite them to the next board meeting? I don't know if they will come or not, but it just in June and then do like a gratitude appreciation. Yeah,
Yeah.
they wouldn't have to report, but we would give the report. How about that? And I'm happy to do that. I do this.
Yeah. That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Average is gonna be the same.
Yeah.
Your average.
I know, I was gonna say, yeah,
You'd be.
you're really not doing well. Yeah. Could we, well,
Yes, maybe possibly, the last day of school or at that field, so they get recognition.
Oh.
Oh.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
awards, academic awards.
yes, that could be that.
That's a great idea.
Okay. I will try to, June 11th.
Thank you. Yeah.
And then the high school has their separate field.
Okay, I will say my only report is that in the past, OSBA has done summer sessions usually in August, like a 3-day weekend in Salem, and they are doing something different this year. Based on feedback from several districts that it's cost prohibitive, especially for smaller districts, to send folks to Salem for 3 days. You know, if you're coming from Grant County or things like that, it's kind of a big leap, and lots of districts don't just have that extra funding. So this year they are doing 2 summer school sessions, it's called, and they're just 1-day events from I believe it's like 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. There's one in Eugene this year and one in Redmond. So just putting that out there. I will probably go to both, but I'm not gonna charge our district or anything. So I will go not only to represent us, but just for the rural district as well. So just putting that out there in case folks don't know, but yeah, because you know, folks can go. The registration for that though is, to me, still kind of steep per person for just a day, but that's my 2 cents. So anyhow, that's my only update on that front. I also just want to express my gratitude for faculty and staff and all the hard work and admin, especially this time of the year, like Janet was saying, that we know you're trying to do all this extra cool stuff and then your regular duties on top of that. And just that I'm super proud of the direction we're heading, and I'm very excited about the long-term future for Glide. So with that, I will say thank you all for staying, and let's conclude this meeting. Adjourned.
Yeah, so back